Hello everyone and welcome back to our tutorial on how the transition to becoming the student manager for the convocation department will look like. So one of the things that we need to be very familiar with is just how to create Qualtrics surveys, how to close them, how to send them out and such. So first things first, you need to go ahead and just log on to your My Berea portal, and we're going to just be right under here, the Learning Resources tab. When we click the Learning Resources tab, under here we have this thing called Qualtrics, and that is the system that we'll be using to create, send out, close surveys for all of our convocations, both music and performance convocations. So once we go ahead and click that, it's going to take us to the Qualtrics homepage. Let me just give it a second to load. Okay, so right here we have we're able to view all of the previous convocations. Something I want to note here is that the format for all of our convocation surveys will be the date of the convocation and the title. So we're going to have just a couple of them. And then here you'll see the status. All surveys will have 8 questions, and then we'll have the number of responses here. So let's say we are starting a new semester and we want to create surveys. In order to create them, we want to click this top right button called Create New Project. Once we click that, it's going to take us to what kind of survey we want to create. And here we're going to go from projects from scratch, and it's just going to be a blank survey. And we're just going to go ahead and click Get Started. And it's going to bring us to this page right here. Now, remember how I mentioned earlier, we want to have the date of the convocation and the name. So we're just going to write today's date. And then this is just practice. And then how do you want to start your survey? We're going to actually use a copy of the survey from an existing project. And we're just going to go ahead and click that. And here we have this pop-up of selecting a survey. And we're going to go under our uncategorized folder. And we're going to have access to that here. So we go all the way to the bottom. We have something called draft, convocation survey, the music copy, and just the templates for them. So this is both for the presentation and the music copy. We're gonna have to edit it. So let's just go ahead and just do a presentation for now. And we're gonna create this project. And once that loads, perfect. It's gonna take us to this question. So there's about 3 edits, three edits that we have to do. So first things first, we have the questions right here. So we can go ahead and just read that. I'll give you a second to read what this says. Okay. So if you read it, you can see that this is no longer, I have to click it to edit. This is no longer relevant. We no longer require students to take the survey for credit. So we're just going to go ahead and delete that. And we just inform students that completion will take 2 to 3 minutes, and thank you, of course. So I just click out and it saves it. As you can see, it's saved at 5:22. We want to go ahead and erase because this is not a question. And here we're going to start on question 1. And then we go down to question 2. Question 3. These are just out of order. They've always been like that since I've started, so I'm not sure as to what old surveys used to look like. So I just have to renumber these questions. And we just want to look up here, make sure our questions are in order. Okay, perfect. So we just want to look at that one more time just to make sure our numbers and everything's right, nothing's glitching or anything, and perfect. It looks like it's ready to go. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and I'm not sure why this is here. Let's just go ahead and delete that late question. And we're going to just go ahead and click publish. And this is just going to give you a link, but we're just going to ignore it for now because that's not how we distribute our surveys. And we're just going to hit close. Once we hit our home button, which is just XM, we can now see that we have an active convocation survey, and that is just this one that I just, oh, today's the 18th, not the 17th, but it's just the one that I created today. And let's go ahead and just click on the survey. So we've just created it. Now what? Well, you're going to want to distribute your survey. And what that really just looks like is we're going to just go ahead and distribute survey. And how do we want to distribute? We always do that by mail, and we hit compose email. Okay, so next we're going to see just the composition of what our email is going to look like. So first things first, you want to select your contacts, and typically it would be here, but we don't have any student contact list of any scans that we've made since this is just practice. But you're just going to go here and select the contacts and you could select just one person or entire contact list, but you're always going to want to select the entire contact list. It's going to say your name, but let's just go ahead and always put communication department. So today. Okay, and then you always want to send now. And the subject will just be the subject of the convocation survey. So we're going to just put convocation. Okay. So for the body, we're going to actually have this here, right here. We're just going to go ahead and copy and paste it. Okay. And then here, let's say if this was for today, I'm just going to go through what it looks like editing and make sure that you edit these things. So this is the convocation survey for practice survey. On today is actually the 8th, not the 9th, not the 17th. Year 2021. This survey will be closed at noon on Tuesday. Okay, let's say, for example, this actually took place the 13th, since convocation takes place the 13th. So we do our surveys the 14th of Fridays, and then they close the following Tuesday. So it's going to be 18th, May 18th of 2021. This convo credit will be uploaded no later than the same day. We close surveys, and right after we submit our credits for students. And then please contact the convo office at Convo Berea by the following Tuesday, 2/25, if you have any issues. So that's just going to be the next Tuesday. So see how our closing date was the 18th. By the 25th, we would want students to go ahead and contact us. So we just change really just the dates on here. We change the convocation name, and of course the date that the convocation happened. And at the bottom, you see the links. So this is really what our convocation is really just going to look like. And we just want to change the name, the when, send now, the subject, and of course the message. And once, if we did have contacts, you just send now. We don't want to close our emails or anything. I'm just going to hit cancel. We don't want to close our laptop. We don't want to disconnect to power. We don't want to disconnect to Wi-Fi or anything like that while they are sending, because it can prevent all the surveys from going through, and maybe just half of them or maybe a third of the students will receive the convocation survey. So we do want to make sure that we remain connected to the internet and not shut down our computer immediately after, since it does take just a couple of seconds, or maybe one time it took me about 5 minutes for it to send out because it was a spotty connection. But we want to also make sure we do this in Lincoln Hall, just because we are only able to submit credits through the Ethernet cord, through connecting to the Ethernet cord in Lincoln Hall. And so we just want to make sure we do submit surveys and pause them and such in Lincoln Hall as well. You are able, if I'm not mistaken, to do it outside of Lincoln Hall, but it's just recommended since you close survey and right after you want to upload credit. And so let's say it's been a week, it's the following Tuesday, you open up your portal and you open up Qualtrics and you're here, we have an open survey. So in order to actually close the survey, you can just hit close here. And then you could just do that. Or instead of doing the 3 dots, if you can see over here to distributions, if you saw when we sent out an email, they also have the pause response collection. It really doesn't matter which you choose, either or, both options do get the job done. The only thing I will say is allow students to finish once they're done. If they've started a survey and they're just not done yet, let them finish and then the survey will close. And then you go ahead, just pause response collections. And now we have the status of our survey, which is now currently closed. And here it will just say how many people responded. Since convocations have not been, convocation surveys, my apologies, surveys have not been required anymore, we don't really make students create these surveys, so we don't have as much responses as we used to, but this is typically what you're going to be doing. And that's pretty much what sums up our survey Qualtrics tutorial. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Besides that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.